The following tutorial is based on creating a text that gives the illusion of exploding. So let's start by creating our page. .300 resolution is good for us. And let's make our background black. Since our foreground is already black, we're going to set our background by Alt backspace. We're going to create another layer, and we're going to click on the text, and we're going to just type. Right now our text is in black, and we're going to change that to something visible. Let's say this color, for example, and we're going to say bang, just like that. Call it bang. Alright, Control T. I'm going to click and drag to expand it. Click and drag. And at this point, we are going to right click over here and just duplicate the layer and leave the original over here in case we have to come back. And let's work with a copy. The first thing you want to do with a copy is right click, rasterize. Once you rasterize the copy, your next step consists of choosing the lasso tool. And basically what I'm going to do is randomly just cut through this text. I'm just going to randomly cut through like this. Alright, and I'm going to circle all of this. So this is what I've selected. And then I'm going to go to the Move tool. Once I click the Move tool, I can click and drag on the screen. And you see there, everything is coming apart. So that's the first step. Alright, let's make it like this. I'm going to click on my lasso tool again, and I'm going to go back and this time get pieces of our text and just move it apart like so. So lasso tool, find the piece that you want, click on the Move tool, click and drag, and so on and so forth. You just repeat the process until you have all of the pieces that you want. And in my case, I'm still picking up pieces. Let's click and drag. Okay, that's cool. And perhaps just right here. And move this just like that. Say I'm happy with this. I'm going to click on my screen to get rid of the marching ants. So this is our original bang. Okay, and now we're going to add effects to it. And the effects we're going to add to it is, I'm going to start off by creating another layer. Right click, I'm going to duplicate this layer, and in this layer I can call this bang, just to have an idea, a sense of idea as to your evolution and what you're doing. I can call this zoom, for example, bang zoom, and this is the layer on which we're going to apply the zoom, okay, which is why I call it bang zoom. So I'm going to turn the first layer off and work with the second one. I'm going to go to filter, blur. I'm going to put a motion blur in. Okay, there you go. Alright, that's our motion blur. I'll leave it like that. So we're happy with it. I'm going to click OK. Although you cannot really read this, that's the reason why the first copy exists, because if I turn it on, now you get to see that. Alright, let's go ahead and duplicate the bang copy again, and this time around we're going to actually put it on top because we want this effect to show on top. I'm going to double click, and here I'm going to call bang radial. And this is where I'm going to apply the radial effect. And to do so, I'm going to go to Filter, Blur. I'm going to go to Radial Blur. Alright, and you notice the radial blur right here gives you a sense of perspective. So the least I go back, the shorter you see the lines here, and the more I go in, you know, you see the kind of perspective as to the letters or these lines coming out at you. And I'm going to leave it at best, and I'm going to click OK. Give the computer some time to render it because it's a pretty taxing effect to apply, and this is what we have. So now we have this, and if you apply the zoom followed by the original bang, now we're getting somewhere. Alright, I'm going to go back and duplicate our bang again. This one I'm going to bring to the very top, and I'm going to call it, I'm going to double click and call it bang particles. Okay, this is where we're going to create our particles. I'm going to enable that, and here I'm just going to click, and I'm going to choose an inner glow. And basically what I want from this inner glow is to use the noise, and the noise I'm going to change that color to something fiery, so like so. Okay, like this orange right here. Alright, and I'm going to increase it. I'm going to increase that. I'm also going to move the choke and the size of it. Opacity I'm going to move up as well. And as far as the screen is concerned, even if you were to put it to multiply, you see what happens? Everything on it becomes really grainy. Alright, so it's not really what we wanted to do. So we're going to keep it as green. Here is coming from the edge. If we try center, well, we don't really get that effect. So our best bet will be to maintain these settings and perhaps use an outer glow. If we use an outer glow and we increase the noise in that, this works much better. So sorry for taking you through an extra step, but it's a learning process. So you've learned something new. I'm going to choose this, go to OK, and now I'm going to increase my noise, the spread of the noise, the size, okay, and the jitter as well. And here we have pretty much okay, our particles. Alright, looks like sand, you know, coming from the explosion, and we could leave it, let's say, like so. I'm going to click OK to that. So now by combining all of these effects, I have our particles, I have the radial, I have the zoom, I have the bang, and there you have it, just like that. It looks like this thing is truly coming apart. Now depending on how much radial or zoom you apply to each one of these layers, the more the effect is going to stand out. So by leaving it like so, or even taking this out, well, this looks pretty attractive. But if I were to take this layer and drag it underneath, let's see what we end up with. It still shows the same. So it's not really having that much of an effect. So we can turn it off. We can leave it like this. This is pretty cool. And then you can go ahead and add some flames on it and use it accordingly. So it looks like this thing is really breaking apart and flying apart, as a matter of fact. So that's how you can create the illusion of a text or something exploding in Photoshop.